Hello everyone. So, in our last lesson of class 11 accountancy, we have studied with chapter number 1, Introduction to Accounting. In that chapter, we came across what is the meaning of accounting, what are the characteristics of accounting, qualitative characteristics of accounting, role of accounting, functions of accounting, advantages, disadvantages, some of the basic terms related to accounting, and finally we came at the end of the chapter. So as there were no queries from the side of the learners, it can be assumed that the chapter is very clear to you and you have understood all the topics from the chapter. In this regard, we can proceed with chapter 2, that is theory basis of accounting. Let me discuss regarding the theory basis of accounting. This theory basis of accounting, chapter 2, is divided into two parts. In first part, we have accounting concepts and conventions, and in the second part, we have accounting systems and basis. So, let's follow the video. In today's lesson, we will learn with chapter 2, that is theory basis of accounting, and this chapter is divided into two parts: accounting concept and conventions part 1 and accounting systems and basis part 2. In this video we will study only about part 1, accounting concepts and conventions. Before discussing about accounting concepts and conventions, it is very important to discuss about accounting principles. So we can say that accounting principles are the general guidelines which a business organization must follow while preparing financial statements. These principles are known as Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or GAAP. So let's start with accounting concepts. These accounting concepts are basic assumptions or conditions which provide a foundation for accounting process, and they guide how the transactions should be recorded and reported. Next, we have accounting conventions. What are these conventions? These conventions may be defined as a generally accepted practice, or it can be a tradition, or you can say that it is a custom that the accountants follow by a agreement with the consent of the ICAI, that is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So in our syllabus, or for the total accountancy subject, there are 11 accounting concepts and 3 accounting conventions. Here the name of 11 accounting concepts are mentioned, and we will study each and every concept in details following the concepts as mentioned here according to the number. As already mentioned that accounting concepts are assumptions, so the first accounting concept is going concern assumption, that is going concern concept. In this concept we can state, or we can assume, that a business definitely will run for a longer period of time instead of a limited period. It is on the basis of this concept the company or a business organization purchases fixed asset which gives long-term benefit, and also due to this concept outside parties come into a long-term agreement to provide loan or any kind of borrowings, and also for a company shares are issued. As already discussed, that the main motive of a business organization or a company is to run year after year. So we will say that whatever accounting principles the company or a business organization follows, that should remain same or should remain consistent from one year to another year, so that it is enable for the management, or the management can compare the profit and loss account and balance sheet from one period to another period. Next concept of accounting is accrual concept. Under this concept we can state that revenue or earning is recorded when the sales are done or when services are provided. It totally does not matter whether cash is received against the sales or services provided. Similarly, for the expenses, according to accrual concept, expenses are recorded in the accounting period when they have been done, whether cash is paid for the expenses or the amount is due. And here we can say that the current year rent is 10,000 but paid amount is 8,000, still we will record 10,000 as the amount of rent. While recording in ledger accounts, we will show that the amount 2,000 related to the previous year, which was paid in the next year, will be adjusted as outstanding amount in the current year. Fourth concept of accounting concept is that business entity concept. According to this concept, we can say that the owner of a business is always considered a separate identity and his business is a distinct and separate identity in the eyes of the law, especially in case of company form of organization or partnership form of organization, whatever it may be. As already declared in the previous chapter, that for accounting it should be noted that only the transactions which have monetary terms and affect the business should be recorded in accounting. The concept of money measurement says that whatever occurs in a business and is recorded in terms of money are to be recorded in the books of accounts. This accounting concept of accounting period is related with the going concern concept. As in that going concern concept, we have assumed that business will run or continue for a longer period of time, and it is impossible for a business organization to completely record all the transactions for a very long time. The time will be segregated for 12 months, constituting of 1 year for the accounting purpose. And these 12 months are known as accounting period, which starts from 1st April and ends on 31st March the next year. In number 7, we have historical cost concept. Under this concept, it is stated that whatever asset is purchased, it should be recorded in the books of account at the price in which it was purchased. If there is a rise or fall in the price of the assets, that will not be recorded in the books of accounts. And since the purchase cost relates to the past activity, it is referred to historical cost. As you can see in this example, investment is an asset. Its purchase price is rupees 3 lakh. After 5 years, its price has increased, but in balance sheet, 3 lakh will be recorded. For number 8, the concept is dual aspect concept. According to this concept, every business transactions will affect in two ways. Number 1, what comes in. Number 2, what goes out. Or we can say that it affects two accounts. One account will be debited and the other account will be credited as per the golden rules. This gives rise to the double entry system of accounting, which will be discussed in the part 2 of this chapter. Now for number 9, we have revenue recognition concept. Under this concept, it is stated that the accounting particularly focuses on the time or the particular period in which revenue, that is the amount of money, is earned. Whether the cash is received or not, it does not have any effect. For number 10 concept, this is somewhat related to accounting period concept. So what is this concept? This concept is very useful in determining the net profit for the business operation. This says that whatever expenses are made should be adjusted with the revenue of a following accounting period and its income. For the last concept, we have objectivity concept, and under this concept it is explained that the accounting transactions should be recorded in an objective manner. That means it should be free from personal biasness of any manager or any accountant who prepares the accounts, and this is only possible when there is authorized or verified documents such as memos, invoice, pay in slip, agreement paper, etc., etc. Before moving on to accounting conventions, we would like to discuss the difference between accounting concepts and accounting conventions. The main and only difference that can be stated is that accounting concepts are recorded and accounting conventions are not officially recorded. They are basic guidelines. To start with, number 1 convention, that is convention of full disclosure. And this convention explains that all the significant information relating to the economic affairs of a business organization or an enterprise should be completely recorded in the books of accounts. There should be a sufficient disclosure, that is display of information which is affecting the business organization. This convention of materiality is basically a contradiction to convention 1, that is convention of full disclosure. In this convention it has been said that only the important financial matters which have a significant effect in the business organization are to be recorded and irrelevant facts are to be ignored. So this is a exception for convention 1. Now this convention is quite interesting and it is based on the saying that prevention is better than cure. According to this convention, whatever upcoming or further losses that can happen in a business organization or anticipated losses must be recorded in the books of accounts, but the probable profits should not be recorded in the books of accounts.